morning, welcome to part 2 of starting to put all this back together. So today it's Monday, bank holiday Monday, 4th of May I think. So today I want to get the seam seal on that weld line that I did yesterday, rust treat underneath, coat of weld through primer underneath, rust treat this strengthening piece, wire brush it, rust treat it, coat of etch prime on there. Then that needs to go on there. Then that needs to be ground back so that that's flat, so that the next piece can go back over the top of it and be welded to it. And the next pieces are that one and this one. So this one sits over the top of there, which is why this one needs to go back in first. So this is my first priority today, is wire brush that, rust treat that, rust treat underneath, step one. Oh yeah, I should also say I found my welding clamps, I put them away, and I found my brush for putting the seam seal on, and I've dug my seam seal out so we can start to progress, start to move forward. And then I want to make up this piece today as well, then go back in there. Probably won't get that welded on today, but at least I can start to cut it out and make it up. So those pieces we're working on next, and then finally up the outer skin, this corner and the closing piece. So it'll take me a few weeks to do this. So I put my rust treat on. That's this FE123 stuff I use. I've wire brushed and flattened off all the rough edges on those pieces that I'm going to weld back in that are okay, and rust treated those where they needed to. One of them was fine, so that sort of coat of weld through primer on the inside of it. Next it's starting to make up this piece, which is the next piece I need to replace. So again, it's just figuring it out, drawing around it like we did before, cutting a piece out of steel, cutting the holes in, put the folds in where I need to. I'm not going to replace that. It's a captive nut, don't need to do that. You can always put a riv nut in if we need to. I think it's for side steps. I'm not going to run side steps. Just need to drill these holes. And then obviously there's a folder on the bottom. That's a joggled edge with that stepped profile where the water hole drains are. I'm not going to do these. I might just drill some holes to let the water drain out of instead, just because it's easier. Doesn't matter in the UK if it's not a perfect match, as long as it's seam sealed and everything where it should be, it'll be fine. It'll be fine for the MOT is what I mean. So that's that one drawn out and traced round. Really I could do with a big piece of card, but I haven't got any more. They're just boxes that come to work, and I grabbed them rather than throwing them out. I only brought one. I should have brought more. I know in future, next time I see them, I'll bring more and stack them up and use them, because they're good card for doing the cardboard aided design card. Right, I'll cut it out, but I don't want to transfer it onto steel until I've tried the cardboard template in after I've welded those pieces in to check it. So I'm stuck now. That's as much as I can do for now. I've got to wait for that rust treat to go off, and then I've got to weld through prime on the back side, on the inside. Then I can start putting those pieces in. So probably this afternoon I'll come back to you. See you later. Right, so I've seam sealed the longer here, had lunch, coat of weld through primer back over the top. I've cleaned up all my edges where I'm going to weld, created an earth. So there's my earth, apart from I'm sat on the cable. There's my earth on my ground. We're going to do this one next. I've protected the door with that, the inside with that. So I've prepared all these as well. So we're going to start getting these welded in. This one first, then that in a bracket, then that outer piece. So that's the first one in position. We'll get some tacks on, we'll take the clamps out, and then we'll tack that piece in, I think. So let's just get some tacks on that now. This one's really thin, so even with tacking, it's blowing holes. So this one's got tacks here. I've taken my clamps out. I just need to tack that corner. I need to fully weld this one in, grind that back before I can put that piece on. So that's that one welded in. Needs a bit of rust treat on that bit. And that one welded in, apart from not right on the edge, because I'll do that when I do this piece. This piece. And again, same on that corner. Now I'm going to grind these ones back, and then I can put that piece in, because obviously that one goes over there and that'll interfere. So I need that in there next. They need filling in. I'll probably do that when I weld that on. It'll be alright. So we're getting there, we're getting there. So that's that ground back. I need to just grind around the inside of those. Well, I'll do that after, because I need to put coat weld through primer on here first, and then I can get that one in. Got to wait for that to dry off, and we can weld the next piece in. So we're now ready to do this. That needs pushing in more there when I weld that, or bashing in after. This bit needs pulling out here, and then that bit needs pulling in there. It's just twisted ever so slightly, but that's lined up. So let's get this tacked. So it's going in nicely. My holes line up there. Got that edge lined up. It's just off a bit here. I need to push that in a bit more there, but I'll do that in a bit. I just want to get this bit done a bit more, get some tacks down here. That's bashing up there. Where's my hammer gone? Here. Bit there. That's okay now. Get a tack on that, and then we'll get some more done here before we then bash this in to push this in. That needs to go there. Yeah, that'll be right there when it's like that. There we go. Flatten that back a little bit, just enough, because I'll have to probably grind all this back here so I can get that next layer on top. So I've got to grind that back a bit. This bit doesn't matter because obviously it's underneath and it won't catch, but this lot will. So I need to grind all that back. Do that next. So grind most of it back, and then I've realised I've not done that little bit there, but I can do that when I put this next piece on. So I'll give it a quick lick of weld through primer, and then I'll leave it for today, and then I can try this piece in. So that'll go like this. So that'll go like this, and then I can start sort of folding and shaping and getting that marked up ready, because that's the next. Coming back together slowly. See you next weekend probably. Welcome back. It's Friday. Don't know what date it is, but anyway, it's Friday. It's following Friday. It is 20 past 2 in the afternoon. Not done anything this morning. Basically sat inside, did a bit of a bike ride, but not much. Anyway, been thinking about this in the week. So yeah, I've been thinking all week. I decided I'm going to cut that there and do that top piece first, which will then give me a straight edge, more or less, all the way along here to make this bottom piece. So we're basically just going to replicate that. It's all bad there, so there's obviously that cut out there, and then a spot weld that I drilled out, which goes onto that bit. So we're going to mark and figure out how high up that goes, cut that, and then get that one in first of all. So I'll probably do that piece today that I've just been talking about, get that in, and the other bit tomorrow maybe. This bottom lip down here, I've decided that I'll probably do by using my pneumatic joggler, and I might be able to put the steps in again using it just to do each punch. Maybe I'll try it, I'll see what happens. There, so that's the line I'm going to cut, so I'll just do that now. So that's coming cut out, 3 holes drilled. The 2 bigger ones I'll now join together to make the sort of oval shape, the oval cut out, and then I'll put the fold on the bottom afterwards. So next it's just to join those two up, do that. Cut out. Next we need to just figure out where we put the fold on the bottom, so I've just got to try it in. So it sort of goes like that, and then folds up. So there's a gradual curve on it by the look of things. So that's level to that bit, and then we want a curve about there. So if I put one about there and put it square across, I'll put that square to this edge. If I do it about there and then try it, that's not bad. What a guess. Just got to twist that bottom there a little bit. I think that now that is about it, so I just need to get some weld through primer on it, this side, and then I can let that dry, get it welded in. So I've got my weld primer on that, but I still haven't put that in because I've been making up this piece now. Cut it out. I've drilled the first set of holes and the slot for that bit. I don't know about this because it's all disappeared. I'm going to have to go and try and copy the other side. I can do that. I can trace my piece of card because it'll flip, you know, it'll do that. Because the other side is intact. Now, the other thing I need to do is put that fold on, but I don't want to do that until I've put any other holes here. So I'm going to leave it now and I'll pick it back up again tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning, or tomorrow. See you tomorrow. I want to get these pieces made and in this weekend, so I'll see you later. Right, Saturday afternoon, welcome back at it. I can't copy the other side for the holes that I was on about a minute ago in the video, because of course it's got the outer sill over that little bit of inner sill. Middle sill, is that what you want to call it? So I can't copy the holes, but what I've been doing now is I've just been testing a joggled edge. I'll show you. I can't use my juggler, my air juggler, because the lip ain't big enough, so I have to bash it. I have to put it in the vise and bash it somehow, figure it out in a minute. So I've marked and drilled where my holes are. That's the other side to where I've marked. So those are the steps. I've got some of these holes in the wrong place. These holes are where the spot welds are for the other side, so I don't need them. So you can see I've faintly got hatchings here, which is where the water pocket ones are. There, those raised sections. And then that's my joggled step with my air joggler. You can see it's not as big as that, it's only just a few millimetres. So I can't use the air joggler. So let's go and see what we can do. That's a shame. Again, it doesn't quite fit in my folder. I used to have a lot bigger one. You know, like a 360mm one. This is only 2 something. So this is what I've resorted to, using my press, piece of 3mm plate as a table, piece of like 1.5 square steel for the edge, clamp it down with a bigger bar and the press to hold it, bash it down. Sort of working. I'm getting a joggle along where I want it pretty much. I'll show you in a bit. So I've scribed some line, or drawn some lines. That's the plate that I'm using to create it on, to create the step. That's my alignment line, because obviously when I put it on, other way up, this way up, like this. So when I put it on, I can't see where I'm lining it, or I couldn't to start with, and then just go along and do that. And then we're getting a joggled edge. There. It's doing the job. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to put my pockets in. I might have another go at putting my pockets in after. We'll see. So that's my joggled edge put on from one end to the other. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Just got to put the fold on next. I mean, it has created a slight curve on it, but that doesn't matter because it'll flatten out when it's welded in. Right, next I've got to figure out the fold, and again, just a fraction too long for my folder, isn't it? Great. There's my fold line, so now I've got to fold it without damaging my joggle I've just put on. So I should be able to clamp it in the vise and just bash that side over. They're doing road works outside. That's what the bipping is. I think they're digging the road up on a Saturday afternoon. Really weird. First bit of curve put on, well, fold, sorry. Straightened it out as well, so I think it needs more than that, but we'll try it and it'll give me an idea of how much more. So up until there I was just pushing it over with my hand, and then I had to use hammer for that bit because I've not got enough leverage. I think you can see there's my new piece. Line it up underneath so it pretty much fits. That's not bad. It'll push up there. Need a bit of adjustment just around there because it's a bit too big. I have scribed and I can adjust that piece a little bit more, but I'm not going to do that until I get this little fillet piece in, because that one needs to go in there first before I then adjust that to there. And then once it's in, I'll cut out that hole. See, I'm not going to bother about the water pockets under there. That's not bad. So next what I need to do is just get a coat of weld through primer on the inside of there, and then I can get this one in. Good, getting there. I want to get these two pieces finished this weekend. Another bit for the scrapping. So that's that little piece in, that end piece. Plug welded there, seam welded along that bit, and then these bits we had to cut through I've just welded up as well, the little grooves, so we've got strength back in that. I've put a couple of tacks in there to hold that in place. I know it wasn't originally, but I put a couple of tacks in just so that it was lining up correctly. I'll grind that back now, and I've put my weld through primer on that other bit. So this bit here I think needs to bash in a bit more yet. I think it needs to go in more that way, because I think that fold is wrong. Either that or it's too long. But we'll see when we try that other piece in now. That's that flatted back. Now I can try that other piece in again and adjust accordingly and then get it welded in. But I need to go and make my tea, so I'm not doing that tomorrow today. I'll do that tomorrow. It's a slow progress. Oh, gas. There's no more in it. I've turned the valve off. I did have another look at that sill on the other side. I'm going to have to patch that as well, because like this was just crumbling with your hand, the other side is just crumbling with your hand. So I think I might get some weld through primer just in there. Nah, I'll do it tomorrow. Morning, Sunday. I've just put my little water pockets in. So cut two little strips to fit in between the gaps, and then just a magnet on there to just hold on, marked where they need to go along, position it, bash it down with the hammer on each one, and now we've got that ripple effect. So next what I'm going to do is weld these holes up, because that's for the outer skin to spot weld onto. I don't need those smaller holes in those positions, so I'm going to weld those up now. I'm going to do that by welding it on here, I think, with a piece of aluminium underneath. I've got a piece of aluminium sheet, and then I can just weld them up. So just grind this bit off the top of here, and I'll get them welded up. There we go. Another coat of weld through primer on. This will be alright when I weld through from underneath that side. So let's get it tried in. So it's going in. I've got it sort of roughly positioned, a few tacks along this edge first, Started at that end and then work this way. I'm going to start doing the spot welds underneath, the plug welds. Do a couple. I'll do that when I can do that one. And then I've got to move the clamp. I've got that upside down this time, not that it matters. And then I'll move along. I'll get the bottom edge first and then I can fettle this a bit more and then come along that top edge. And then I'll put a stitch down there as well. Getting there. So that's that piece fully welded in now. Just got to flat it back, cut that notch, coat of weld through primer. Then we're done for this layer. So getting there. I'll just get it flatted back now. I'll go flatted back. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be hidden. I need to cut that bit out. I need to do that next. Then I can put some coat paint on it and then get the under seal on the bits, like these joins. Not under seam seal, seam seal. So almost there for today. So that's obviously wet. We'll just let that dry and then we'll try some of these other bits on. Take off the masking. I've not done under there yet, but yeah, pretty much done for what I wanted to do this weekend. I need to do some running repairs on my finger sander. I have had this a long time. It's obviously caught the cable at some point while it's still going around and it won't work now. It's finally snapped. I noticed it yesterday, so I need to take it apart and find a new cable. I'll have one down there in one of my boxes. Fit a new cable. New cable fitted. New second-hand cable. Got to put it back together now. I've also given it a good dust out with the air line. I'll have to do the other half because that's bad as well. There we go. Just gotta let that all dry. I'll put some seam seal on later and then can start on the outer skin. So again, welcome to all the new subscribers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And we'll see you in the next one when we start on this outer skin. So the outer skin should be easier. I might have to cut a few things straight, like that line there is not straight. Just make it easier. I might put these pieces back in because they've already got the holes in, because those are okay. Those are just what I cut out to access. So we're coming together. We're getting there. See you next time.